So what is your official job title here at the planetarium?
My official job title is Secretary 2. I also manage the business office, so I supervise and manage the business office. So I have a combination of job roles and responsibilities.
Okay. And what exactly do those responsibilities entail?
The responsibilities entail, one, managing the business office, and that entails specifically dealing with staff, supervising staff, hiring staff, training staff, specifically student staff, to work for the public shows for the planetarium and to assist with events. I'm also responsible for, I would say this may be the secretarial side of it, dealing with finances, accounting, checking in our groups that come in for our reserve group shows, and preparing and processing deposits, and dealing with our deposits and different accounts, whereby I bill accounts, various accounts with the university as they come into the planetarium and utilize our services here.
Is there a kind of typical day for you?
A typical day. What's a typical day? A typical day is, for example, like today, would be a group that's reserved at our time slots. We have, for our group shows, we have 9:30, 11 time slots and 1:30 time slots. And a typical day would consist of them coming into a reserve show, getting them checked in for the show. Once getting them checked in for a show, preparing to enter them into the planetarium for that show, and then dealing with the daily activities of the office. That means calls that come in, people that want to make reservations for the shows for the planetarium, dealing with our subscribers and our members in terms of renewing their subscriptions so that they can receive their yearly calendar, their sky calendars. So that would be a typical day. Greeting guests, dealing with issues related to phone calls regarding membership, sky calendars, troubleshooting with things related to the sky calendars, questions that come in about what's happening in the sky, questions about events that the planetarium is having. That's a typical day, planetarium.
And how long have you been working here?
I've been working here since 2013.
Okay. What first drew you to working here?
What drew me to working here? I was actually placed by Human Resources in this department. So I don't know if I was really drawn here. I was just placed here by Human Resources, and I love it. So it's a great placement.
Do you remember your first day here?
I do remember my first day here. I was trained by one of, who is now a volunteer, who is now retired. Her name is Mary, and I was a bit nervous, but it was fine. I mean, it seemed to me like it was just a typical day of training. Typical day of training.
How has your role evolved since you first started?
Tremendously. When I initially started, I was dealing with primarily renewals and learning about some of the nuances of the job. It has expanded since we've had a new director. I now am engaged with some of the programming, some of the designing and helping in refacing the main lobby area of the planetarium and the Black Light Gallery. So I'm involved, a little more involved with how the planetarium is changing, its role changing to suit the 21st century, if you will.
Can you talk a little bit more about those changes?
Well, some of the changes, one of the changes that was significant for me was when I started here, we didn't have, and this may be maybe minute to some, but we didn't have handicap doors to access people or to help people that have disabilities. And when I came here, that was something that I thought needed to have attention to. So this is one of the suggestions I made for the planetarium. And also, in addition to that, there were things in the planetarium that had been here since the planetarium was established. And I felt that there needed to be some changes and we needed to update and become more current with what's happening in society today. So that was one thing. We have what we have in the main lobby area are our touch screens, and that was something that I recommended from the director. We have a digital display. When I started here, we had a what I call it, antiquated display of staffs. They were antiquated, they were old, and it didn't provide information about what the planetarium had to offer. So I suggested something more in-depth and something more detailed about what show are we offering, if we could give a trailer of the show. And so now we have that displayed. So we just needed to upgrade and come up to the 21st century. And these are some of the things that I suggested. More exhibits in the lobby area, which we are now starting to engage in. Updating our Blacklight Gallery, which has not been updated since 1963. So, and so that's something that we are currently working on. So these are some of the changes that I've suggested that are actually becoming and manifesting itself in the planetarium so it's some of the as it has evolved. So that's where we are today with it, and I'm actually happy about it. I'm glad that she's taken some of the suggestions and actually putting them in play here.
Yeah, it sounds like the director is really accepting of new ideas.
She is. So I attended yesterday I attended a presentation on some of the suggestions I made in the staff meeting about the Blacklight Gallery. And we had some students from the University of Michigan come in, and they kind of did an assessment of what we could do with Blacklight Gallery based on that suggestion. And the presentation was amazing, and their ideas were wonderful. And I don't know, I feel kind of privileged that she took my suggestions, and she's going to try to make this happen with the budget that we work with. So there have been a lot of changes in terms of how we're evolving, and the fact that we're working as a team to make that happen. That's the most important thing. She's open, her ear gate is kind of open to the staff and the needs that the staff had, and I like that. So those are some how some of the evolving has transpired between now and then.
Do you see more changes like this happening in the future?
Yes, I'd like for us to have a new building. And we've had conversations about that, conversations about possibly engaging with different grants or writing different grants so that we can have the opportunity to have a new planetarium, or at least have an extension of the planetarium. So I do see that will be happening in the future, yes.
As it stands right now, do you have any favorite parts of the exhibit hall?
I think my favorite part would be the Blacklight Gallery. I think that it's intriguing, and I think that it's my favorite part. I think that, again, there needs to be more added to the intriguement of it. You know, when you first initially enter into the Blacklight Gallery, it's exciting. But it seems that there needs to be more expanded in that area, or more added to the area to make it more exciting. But that's my favorite part, is the Blacklight Gallery. I like the lobby area, but I find that it's a bit mundane and kind of boring at times. And I've often had guests come in and tell me, is there more? Could you add more to the main lobby area? So I think that the Blacklight Gallery would be my favorite area.
Do you have any favorite murals in the Blacklight Gallery? You can say more than one.
I love the constellations. I love the paintings on the wall. I just like the feeling when you go in there. All of it. I just like all of it. I just think it's beautiful in there, and it's just intriguing to me. So if we can add to that and make it more intriguing and more exciting for people, I think that that would actually benefit the planetarium. I think that that's a unique piece in the planetarium that we can really add to. You don't find many lobby areas. You have exhibits in your lobby area, but the blacklight gallery is it's like the key attraction for the planetarium to me. So, yeah.
It's kind of like a gateway into the Sky Theater.
You make your transition from here, and then you move into the blacklight gallery, and then you go into the theater. So it's just something about that. You're right. That gateway and that transition into the theater.
All right. Backing up a little bit,
Okay.
do you remember the first time you visited any planetarium at all?
I do. I remember visiting this planetarium when I was in 4th grade. And I was amazed by it. I was marveled by it. I loved it. I was just, like a kid in a candy store when I went into the theater. So yes, this planetarium.
Did you ever think you would work here someday?
No, I did not. I never thought of that. Never thought of that. Maybe if I did, I would have taken the job here when I started on campus. But no, I never thought of that. But it's just absolutely amazing. And the effect, I think one of the things that's intriguing for me is the effect that it has on people. When they come out and they go into the theater and they go into a show, they're just excited, and they're excited about learning about the sky and want to know more about the sky. So I really like that.
What is it like watching groups go through?
Exciting. They're fun. They're happy. They're giddy. They're gay about being here and being part of the planetarium and learning about the sky. They're always excited about coming to the planetarium, laughing, and it's just sets a tone and a mood in the planetarium when they come in, especially children when they come into the planetarium, because they have a twofold benefit. They're becoming educated, and they're also getting some entertainment as they come into the planetarium. So they're always excited when they come in. And then I'm also amazed